So what are the responsibilities of an entry-level project manager? I'm pulling up an actual job description of an assistant project manager so we can review this together and set you up for success. As we get into this video, are you planning to start a career in project management? I would love to hear from you. So please drop me a comment down below so we can cheer each other on with our community. So what I've done is I've searched Indeed.com for the keyword entry-level project manager in the city of San Francisco, California. I found a specific job posting and I've copied it and I pasted it into this document. Please keep in mind that not all entry-level project manager positions are the same, and this is just one example that you might find when you're searching for roles that are like this. Now, the position that I found is for the company called Old Navy, and the job title is for an assistant agile project manager for their innovation and platform operations group. Whenever you're looking at different job postings, there will usually be a high-level overview of the job itself, followed by what you'll actually be doing in the role itself, and then a final section that lists out the qualifications and the skills that you need to be considered for that job. So the first section here describes the role itself. Here's what it says. Entry-level position that's focused on supporting the Agile project management team in facilitating and documenting complex projects. This role is critical in ensuring project alignment with strategic goals, maintaining project schedules, and assisting with stakeholder communications. So this section already highlights several skills that you must be familiar with. First is the Agile framework. Do you know what's involved with an Agile project? And are you familiar with how to facilitate a project using Agile? One example could be Scrum. Keep in mind that this is an entry-level role, so the company is not expecting you to have years and years of experience leading Scrum projects or using a Kanban board. If you know the basics, then you should be fine. Now, the next important skill that's mentioned here is schedule management. This one is very important because we do this all the time, even in our personal life. Have you ever planned a trip with your friends to another city or country? You probably planned out your entire schedule and the list of activities that you wanted to do. For me, I recently traveled to Japan with my wife. And of course, we planned out our entire schedule so we could visit Tokyo and Kyoto so we could eat all the food that we've always wanted, like ramen, noodles, udon, and sushi. I'm a huge fan of Ichiran ramen, by the way. So good. So going back to our job description, you need to know how to create a project schedule and understand how to break a project into manageable tasks and deadlines for your team to hit. Again, this is for an entry-level role, so you're not expected to have expert knowledge in this, just basic familiarity. Pro tip from me, if you've already taken Coursera's project management program, for example, then you should be more than ready to handle this kind of work. If you haven't done so already, and you're thinking of getting into project management, then I highly recommend signing up to Coursera's program, which I'll link down below because I've personally gone through it and it teaches you all of the basics so you can start applying for entry-level project manager jobs. Now, the next skill that's highlighted in this section is stakeholder communications. Fancy word, right? All this means is being the glue that holds your team together. Imagine this, you're the Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls who drives teamwork and communicates with everyone so their team can win at basketball. The same concept applies to being a project manager. You're making sure that everyone is on the same page and is working towards the same goal. If anyone is steering off the main road, then you need to pull them in so the team stays focused. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, be sure to smash that like button because it inspires me to keep creating high quality content just like this. Let's go into the section for what you'll do. The next heading is for project documentation and coordination. This one is self-explanatory, and here's what it says. Assist in developing project documentation, including scope, timelines, and milestones using project management tools such as Airtable and Confluence. So the biggest skill set that's emphasized is knowing how to write a scope statement, meaning what is inside and outside of your project scope, and developing timelines such as Gantt charts. What this job posting also does is tell you two specific software that you'll be expected to use, which is Airtable and Confluence. Since this is an entry-level role, you are not expected to be an expert in the software. I'll repeat that one more time because I know how it feels to be applying to jobs when you don't feel like you're not qualified enough. When I was applying to project manager jobs, I used to feel like an imposter, that I didn't have the experience or the skill set to land that interview. I didn't have confidence in myself because I thought I wasn't quote unquote good enough for the role. If you're watching this and if any of this resonates with you, I want you to change your thinking and your mindset. Our deepest desires and what we want in life, they're all blocked by roadblocks that we have in our mind. You can accomplish anything that you set out to do. You can do it, and I 100% believe in you. Change your beliefs and you can accomplish any goal that you want. It all starts with your mind. So for this software, my advice to you is be familiar with at least understanding what the software is. Go to their website and see what it's all about. So if you're asked questions about it during the interview, at least you can talk about it. By the way, I recently created a free course on how to use Confluence for beginners, and I'll include a link down below so you can learn how to use it and be prepared for these positions. So the next paragraph says, prepare project status reports and dashboards to keep stakeholders informed, ensuring data quality and timely updates. This goes hand in hand with the skill set of stakeholder engagement and building relationships. When I first landed my role as an engineering project manager, one of the responsibilities that I had was keeping leadership informed of the performance of our projects. Roughly every 2 weeks or so, I would prepare dashboards using PowerPoint or Excel, showing if our schedule or budget was on track, what major risks and issues needed to be resolved. So think of yourself as the missing link that connects your team with all the other stakeholders. It's kind of like being the host of the show called American Idol, where you round up all these different singers to this live panel of judges to see who sings the best. Instead of rounding up different singers, you're rounding up the status of your project and you're discussing issues and risks with your panel of key stakeholders. As we're reviewing this job description, it's so important that you tailor your resume to match the job that you're applying for. To help you out, make sure you download my free project manager resume template over at alvinthepm.com/resume template so you can land that interview. So the next 2 headings in the job posting cover innovation board facilitation and meeting support and documentation. If we skim through these sections, the 2 areas that stood out to me are the following: lead the coordination and facilitation of the weekly innovation board meetings and facilitate communication flow within project teams. As someone who's been a project manager for quite some time now, I can tell you that these 2 areas fall under the skill set of communications management and risk management. I say this time and time again, but the value that we bring in our roles as project managers and why we get paid a great income is because we know how to manage risks. If we see something that's coming a mile away and we have a gut instinct that, hey, it might delay the timeline by 3 months because of lack of resources, that's something huge that we bring to the table because we help keep our projects on track, which is especially important if we're leading new product development projects or even developing new technology that has that potential, that spark to generate more revenue for our company. But Alvin, what exactly does that mean? Well, if we prevent delays by 3 months, we're helping our company launch products on time and be faster to launch to market, which means a much higher return on their investment in the long run. Now keep in mind here, I'm sharing with you my insights since I've been working as an engineer and a project manager for over a decade. Since this is an entry-level position and the job title is for an assistant project manager, the next section states that you will be providing support for agile and innovation managers, which to me makes sense. If you're entry level, then you probably don't have experience leading critical projects which have a huge financial impact on the company's success. So of course, the company will give you some training, these opportunities to learn and grow in your role. And that's what this section is intended for. Let me share with you my experience. When I landed one of my entry-level engineering jobs, I had the opportunity to work directly with a much more senior engineer so I could provide support and learn the craft of the trade. Just see what it's like to manage much larger and more complex projects, learning what you call best practices. I remember when I got my first bike when I was a kid for my birthday. I was so excited. It was something that I really wanted, and my parents finally got it for me. I still remember it to this day. But it had training wheels. Of course, I didn't like them at first, but it helped build my confidence up so I could eventually ride the grown-up bike with my dad. So I'd ride my bike with training wheels around our house on our street for a few weeks until eventually I felt confident enough to level up and ride a bigger bike without training wheels, which was a lot of fun for me. So going back to our job posting, it's kind of like that. This is an entry-level role where you're given a lot of opportunity to learn from more experienced senior project managers with how to lead and manage very complex projects. This is a great opportunity to step into the role and then advance your career as a project manager. Now, if you want to make sure that you're on the right path to becoming a project manager, there are a few things that you must absolutely know. Please watch this video next to learn all the details, and I'll see you in the next video.